Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully my computer does not mess up again. Anyways, I was saying I'm Kate Christensen and I'm a realtor in Ankeny. Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully my computer does not mess up again. Anyways, I was saying I'm Kate Christensen and I'm a realtor in Ankeny. Let's see here. Sorry, I keep on hearing my screen. It's repeating itself multiple times. This is very fun. Let me check. Maybe we should be okay. See if anyone hops on here. Okay, I think we're good. I don't hear any feedback. Okay, so I am starting a series here on my Facebook page to talk about myths about buying a home. Being in real estate, I hear all kinds of, what if you want to call them, objections or reasons why someone may want to wait or not buy a home right now. And so I thought it would be fun to kind of use this platform to talk with you guys about what my thoughts are and maybe just give some professional advice as a realtor. So just a little bit of background, like I said, about me is I've been doing real estate in Ankeny for about 6 years, and I've had my associate broker's license for the last 3. So in that time, I've sold, I don't know, 200 homes or so. I don't keep track, but I've sold quite a few homes, and I've had a chance to work with a lot of different people. And with that, I have become super passionate about helping people obtain a better, like I said, financial status with buying a home and building their wealth that way. It really gives me a lot of joy, and I'm super passionate about helping people. So that is why I'm here today, to share kind of just my insight on what I think about when people tell me that they want to put 20% down, because that is something I hear quite often, is that, oh, I want to save money so that I can put that down on a home. And saving money obviously takes time. And there's also people out there that think and they say, I want to put down 20%. And again, I am not coming down on people if you want to put down 20%. If you have 20% to put down, that is fabulous. But this is more directed towards the people that don't have the 20% down, but they are trying to save to get to 20% down. So just wanted to make that clear before I get started. Because like I said, there's a lot of first-time home buyers out there, and they go off of maybe what their parents did. And our parents, back in the day, they had to put down 20% because that was the only way the bank would loan them the money. Eventually, the banks allowed people to borrow more than 80% of the loan value. But what happened is that they started charging private mortgage insurance. And so that's just a fancy term to say that they're going to charge you insurance on your loan because you don't have 20% down. So a lot of people think, well, that's a waste of money. I don't want to pay PMI. And so that would be one of the reasons why they do want to put down 20%. The other reason why I hear people say that they want to put down 20% is because they want a lower monthly payment. And it's known that if you put down more money on, I'll say, a home, that the payment should be or will be less. And I guess the answer is it depends. It depends how long it would take you to save that money, and then really depends on the interest rate that you have. So with that, I just wanted to say, to first bust the myth that you have to have 20% down. That's not true. There are loans out there that you can put down as little as 0 money down and have no PMI whatsoever. And you can also have options like 3% and 5% down with no PMI. So those options are out there. And there are lenders in the area that offer these programs. They are within the banks, so it's not like a scam or anything. These are real banks with real loan programs that stay in-house, so they are safe loans. And they said those are options, but a lot of people just don't know about them. So that's kind of, like I said, that might be another day where I can maybe explain some of those loan options to you if you're interested. But I just wanted to say that they, like I said, they are out there, and some people just frankly don't know that it is an option, and they think that saving money is the only way to buy a house. So with that being said, I wanted to share with you that there could be a financial benefit to buying a home sooner versus waiting and buying later. And actually, I want to prove to you that waiting could actually end up costing you more money in the end. And I think that's the main point here. So what I've done is I just kind of have a scenario here. Let's just say that you're going to buy a house for $200,000 today. Today, the interest rate is about 4.875% for 30 years. It could change tomorrow, but that's what it is today. So say you're a borrower and you do have 20% down today. So you're actually only going to borrow $160,000 at that 4.875%. That means you're putting down 40, you're borrowing 160. Okay, so with that, you would have a principal and interest payment of $846 a month and some change. Okay, and that would be your principal and interest payment towards that loan. Okay, so that would what it be today. However, if you think maybe you want to wait, can't find the right house right now, you think it'll be better next year, this is assuming you already have your 20% down, but you just want to wait, I want to show you that if you wait, and let's say the interest rate goes up by just 1%, which it has. 1 year ago, it was at 3.875, and today it's at 4.875, and I want to say the government is projecting that the rate will go up again and probably again by next spring. So this is very likely that it will happen. So I'm just going to use a 1% increase for this scenario. So by the rate just going up 1%, I'm going to show you what the difference in your monthly payment is. So this is your now, okay, 200,000. You put 20% down, that's 40,000. You're going to borrow 160 at 4.875. That's how I get that principal and interest payment of $846 a month. Now, if I come over here to the wait and everything else stays the same, but only the interest rate changes, your monthly payment goes up by $100 a month. Okay. Now, some people may think, oh, $100 is not that big of a deal. I don't really care. Some people do care. $100 is a big deal. I think what the main takeaway from this is that it's not just that it's going up $100 a month, but it actually, I said that $100 may knock you out of that price range depending on your debt to income. So what I have figured out is that if you want to keep that same monthly payment today, with the rate being 4.875 and the payment is $846 a month for this home, you would actually have to put down a year from now, when the rate is 1% higher, an additional $17,000 to keep the same monthly payment on the same house. Okay, so that house didn't increase in value by $17,000. You just have to pay that much more to keep your payment the same. So that is, like I said, kind of shocking to me that you would have to, it's not just, like I said, putting down a couple $1,000s more, it's $17,000 more. And if you were trying to save for that, that would be about $1,400 a month that you would have to save in addition to anything else you're trying to save, just to keep that same monthly payment of what it would be if you bought a home today. So, and with that, like I said, I mean, you could always put down less money and buy out the PMI. Those are all options. And if you have questions about those, you can always message me and I can share those with you, or I can do another video on different financing options. But basically, there's 3 things that I wanted to take away from this today. Is that one, and I wrote them down so you guys can see. One is that it's hard to save money. And I mean, especially large amounts of money consistently every single month, because people have obligations, and this time of year, holidays are coming up, might want to take a vacation, and it's hard to save that money when you're also wanting to have fun and do the things that you want to do. The second thing is that a home is your asset, and it is appreciating on average about 3 to 4% a year. So unlike other things that we buy that typically depreciate in value as soon as you purchase them, like a car, a home is actually appreciating at about 3 to 4% a year. So that's about, on a $200,000 house, that means your home is going up in value by about $6,000 a year. So if you stay in that home for, say, 5 years, and then you go to sell it, I've estimated that you would profit about $36,000 profit when you go to sell your home. So that's good. That's the good thing. And then the last thing is that prices and interest rates are going up. That is a known fact. I can look back at the history of real estate and consistently show that home values increase every single year. And also with interest rates, they kind of fluctuate. We saw them go really low about 2 years ago. People were getting a 30-year rate for 3.25%, and that was awesome. We're not in that time anymore. We're moving up where the normal rate may be closer to 6%. And that's just what it'll be. Historically, 6% would still be a really low interest rate. Historically, back when my parents were buying a home, their interest rate was probably 18% on the home that they purchased. Can you imagine what the payment would be if our interest rates were like that again? So historically, even if it was 6%, that's pretty low. But what that really means for you is that you would have to weigh your options. Is that, are you able to outsave what the interest rate will be in a year? And that's the question we need to ask is, can I save enough money to outweigh what the future interest rate might be? And for a lot of people, they would say, no, I can't. And I could get into a whole other podcast about this, but there's even ways I can show you that putting down 20% may not be in your best interest. Even if you did have it, you could actually probably put that money towards something else and see better return of your investment versus putting it on your home. But that might be for another day. So I just wanted to conclude with this final thought for you guys. So the question is it good? Is it a good idea to save until you have 20% down? But I think the better question is, if there is a financial benefit to buy a home sooner versus later, would that interest you? Because waiting will not only end up costing you more money in the long run, but it will also mean less equity in the home that you do buy. And if you are renting, you're a first-time home buyer and you're renting right now, you're going to continue to throw money away that will go towards somebody else's financial wealth instead of building your own. So those are my thoughts. That's what I think about putting 20% down. I would love to hear your feedback, so you can leave comments, send me a message, and I will, like I said, be looking forward to our next topic, busting some myths about buying a home. And I'm so glad if you are able to watch this. If you're watching the replay, just leave a comment saying that this is the replay, and I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. Have a great weekend.